Hello everybody, Chuckling to 1000 and pulling for duty. Welcome back to an episode of my Bullion Diamond Hooplocke Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we managed to beat Maylene, the Failstone City gym leader, and managed to get ourselves a new challenge, which is we are only allowed to use poison type Pokemon. And if you're wondering why Kaz has grown by one level, is because the very moment I loaded up the game, I got ambushed by a jogger, because I was at the time of 8:30 in the morning currently, and as soon as I went in front of that jogger, he challenged me to a Pokemon battle. So I thought I'll do that off camera to save time, but all I can honestly say is he used one Staravia, I used one Confusion, knocked out too easily. Done as that. So, if you're probably wondering what am I doing here in the PC, the box, is obviously yes to get my poison type Pokemon out, but to level up my Pokemon fast, I put them in Pokemon Home, sent them into Pokemon Shield, used some EXP candy to level them up to a respectable level, so I'm keeping them on par with my highest level Pokemon being Roselia, for the poison types, and then trade them back. And upon doing that, box 18 is supposed to be the last box that we have for some time, but I somehow, someway managed to unlock a lot of other boxes. We got these wallpapers that you normally don't get to see unless you either, I think, beat the game, or specifically put, you punch in a code when talking to somebody in Jubilee TV, which I haven't done. So these are all of the special wallpapers that you get upon doing that. Like, you go to Jubilee TV and you punch in some, combinations and all kinds of stuff, and then it goes back to the basic stuff here. There we go. So here are all the poison type Pokemon here. Let's take Kaza out and we'll put Roselia in, and there we go. So that's every single poison type Pokemon. So yeah, Crobat I only leveled up to level 27. Ghastly I leveled up to level 22. Because at level 25, as you remember, Ghastly evolves into Haunter. Which, by the way, I should really bring my Nintendo Switch Lite down with me. Scorpie I leveled up to level 27. Stunky I leveled up to level 26. But Dustox I kept at level 16. Because I don't think Dustox is actually going to be helpful in this case. Just excuse me a minute, I'm going to get my Switch Lite because I believe this episode Nelson is actually going to evolve into Haunter, and I want my Switch Lite so I can trade. So, be right back. The advantage about not so much having a big house per se, it's more so like only having 2 floors. The ground floor is where I am right now, and the room where I had my bedroom and everything else is in 1 floor above me. So anyway, here's where we need to go. I'm going to put Casper in the lead. We'll talk to Lucas. We'll offer him some help. We're not exactly level with that Galactic run, but oh well, whatever. Yep, I thought you would have a Beautifly and Dustox. Right, I think if I actually change my chairs, the chair I'm sat on, the position of it is like kind of awkward. Actually, you know, let's use Cross Poison on Dustox. It's moments like this where I actually wish Crobat had a freaking flying time. Actually, oh wait, hang on. Oh crap! I just thought I leveled up Crobat to level 27 in Sword and Shield. So, because I didn't level him up to level 27 in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, he's missed out on his chance to learn Air Cutter, which is the only flying move he learns by leveling up until he gets to level 62. Crap. That's actually pretty bad. And that's actually the move that he would have learned. He would have learned Air Cutter. So, like obviously No Time Like a Present, I need to find a heart scale in order to be able to relearn. Oh, the heart scale is a... Okay. Heart scale is obviously a rare item to find that will help you be able to relearn moves. But apparently it says here on IGN, there are two places to get it only in the, basically two places to get it in the overworld. Really? I know Air Cutter has a high critical hit ratio, Beautifly, but calm down, will ya? Right. Oh, yes, of course. Okay. So, who's learning Toxic? Is that Punky? Yeah, it's Punky. Oh, yeah, when I leveled up Stunky in Sword and Shield, it did actually learn another Poison type move, but it's gone straight back to learning Faint. Let's give it a Smoke Screen for Toxic. Yeah. It's the only downside to having certain Pokemon learn certain moves. They have a certain level up moveset in Sword and Shield, but in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they learn things differently. So, like, let me take Crobat, for example. If I bring up Generation 8, in Sword and Shield... Oh! Crobat is actually able to learn Air Cutter in Sword and Shield at level 27. But he didn't learn it. Hold on. Crobat can learn Air Cutter in Sword and Shield at level 27. But when I leveled up Crobat to level 27, he didn't even want to learn it. Now I'm confused. Oh god, I just noticed that Casper is like low on HP. So we use a super potion. Yeah, this is basically going to be all Crobat's doing in this case, because I don't think any of my other Pokemon would have a chance. Well, down goes Clefairy. But Lucas does have his Prinplup still. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't like pausing because of, oh, he's using one of those Pokemon. It was more so the fact of, I tried to remember if it either was a Prinplup or just a Piplup still. Okay, Bubble Beam on Stunky? Yeah. Nice! We'll take that. So basically, going back to the whole method about the heart scales, you can get them in 2 locations in the overworld that we have not yet been to. You can also get them by a very rare chance in the Grand Underground by digging them up. The chances of getting them are not very common, mind you. Or if you go to a certain place and use... Oh, hang on. It says here, the second method is by catching wild love disc or using thief on a love disc. Love disc has a 50% chance of holding a heart scale, and you can find them on Route 224 or in the Pokemon League using a Super Rod. Great. So we can't farm heart scales that way. Oh boy. But anyway, going into this warehouse, we now have the ability to fly. I don't believe there's a hidden item inside that building, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Right, let's go heal up my Pokemon. But yeah, that's actually kind of stupid, really. The fact that, basically, let me load up the town map real quick and show you where Route 224 is. Here. And the Pokemon League is here. So are you willing to tell me the only way to get heart scales without finding the 2 singular ones in the overworld is by going through the entire Pokemon game, beat the Pokemon League, and then go to Route 224 in the post game just to have a 15% chance of finding a love disc with a Super Rod? Because I tell you, I believe the Super Rod is actually an item that's picked up in the post game. So that just makes all matters meaningless. I already just a second healed my Pokemon. Right, okay. Crobat, you might actually be a little bit of a hindrance, but don't worry. I'm trying to think. Oh, no, never mind. Okay. I was trying to think, in that building over there, I think you actually get something for your trouble, but now I think about it, I think it's not in Diamond and Pearl originally, so I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, Route 224, sorry, not 224, Route 214. A Psychic Trainer using a Ghost-type Pokemon. Fancy that. Though, to be honest, I still find it very questionable how back in Generation 1, the only way for you to do super effective damage against Psychic-type Pokemon was to use a Bug-type Pokemon. And the only bug-type Pokemon in the Kanto region that was able to learn bug-type moves were the ones found in Viridian Forest, being the Caterpie line and the Weedle line. Yes, technically speaking, there probably was Paras and Parasect you could find in Mount Moon, but I never bothered using a Paras or Parasect at all in any Pokemon game because its typing having 4 times weaknesses just doesn't really sell it for me. Mischievous. A Pokemon that you can only find in Shining Pearl. Okay, not bad. So it's going to do this. You're using Hex on me when I gave you the status condition. Hex is a move that doubles in power if the opposing Pokemon has a status condition when you use it on them. Not you yourself. You're thinking of Facade. But yeah, regular poison will do the same amount of damage at the end of every turn. I'm not too sure if it's 1 in 16th of its HP or 1 of 8th. Like, basically, like, the amount of HP is decreased. I'm not sure if it's a 16th of its max HP or an 8th of its max HP. I don't know. Speaking of Hex, we might as well teach you that. Hex does actually have a boost in power if you're using it on a Pokemon who's fast asleep. So we'll get rid of Payback. At least I didn't miss out on the chance of learning that. There might have been some scenarios where I did miss out on learning a certain move because of leveling up my Pokemon in Sword and Shield rather than Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. But I didn't really want to spend all day going into wild Pokemon and knocking them out when I could just easily level them up in Sword and Shield. Because for starters, I didn't want to spend all day leveling them up in this game. Plus, I wanted to play this Metroid Prime Remastered. I'm actually really hooked in that game at the minute. It's actually really entertaining. Now this place, the Ruin Maniac Cave, TM28 Dig. You can also find a rare chance of Hippopotas here. But this cave looks like this if you haven't caught any unknown. If you caught a certain amount of unknown, it would no longer be called the Ruin Maniac Cave, but instead the Ruin Maniac Tunnel. But if you caught all 26 letters of the alphabet of unknown, he would dig all the way up to Solaceon Ruins, and that will basically allow you to find the question mark unknown and the explanation mark unknown, and for your trouble of getting all of the unknown, your reward is a singular rare candy. Not even worth your time. I could technically go for Hippopotas, but with his ability as Sandstream, that's going to be a hindrance for me. It really is. Yeah, you're definitely not going to be helpful, Stunky. I was like trying to have a look to see if anyone happened to have a super effective move to deal with Bronzors, and the only ones who do are Casper the Crobat, Nelson the Ghastly, and Stonk the Scolopie. Oh yeah, the Cranidos. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad. That is actually pretty bad. Rosebud, I actually need your help right now. Though, technically speaking, I actually did realize there is another poison-type Pokemon that we can technically grab if we go in the Grand Underground, and that is Krogunk. So I could go back in there and try and find one in the swampy area. Yep, there's the Bronzor. Oh, actually, oh no. Oh no, I just realized something. Well, I kind of would have figured that out already, but the fact that it's a psychic type Pokemon, and I'm using an entire team of... Okay, good. I was thinking of switching back into Crobat. Oh no. Oh, once again, a moment of realization or doubt. I made him slower with paralysis, which boosts the power of his Gyro Ball. Oh, now he's using Confusion. I actually am in trouble here. Okay. Okay, good, good. We got let off. We got let off. Yeah, Geodude would be easy for me to knock out. I technically could have used... Yeah, I probably should have done. Because now I'm going to be wasting a Giga Drain. Or I could just switch in a Pokemon and just have it use whatever moves. I'm going to use Stunky to finish it off. Because I don't want to waste any of my Pokemon's moveset. Right, in this cave we do have another trainer to fight against, but we also, I believe, well, Ponytail wasn't actually what I was going to refer to. I think you can actually find a hidden item here. I think. Oh, that's disappointing. I think, actually, thinking about it, I think that area is actually where you find a hidden item that allows you to get a certain, well, I think it's a Razor Fang. Yeah, it is, yeah. You can find a Razor Fang here that will allow you to evolve Gligar into Gliscor. Though, one thing that I would honestly say, in a huge disappointment about Brilliant Diamond as well as regular Diamond and Pearl, is the fact that this is mainly targeted to the regular Diamond and Pearl, is certain Pokemon were given a brand new evolution that debuted in the Sinnoh region. However, the method of getting those Pokemon was by getting something that was only found in the post game. And I kind of find that to be relatively stupid. And I would definitely mention the exact Pokemon that had a heavy hindrance based on that. We have got, well, basically, like, in other words, in this case, the Pokemon that were given a brand new evolution, but no matter how hard you tried, they just wouldn't show in the wild. I can't say for certain if Sneasel and Weavile is one of them, but one of them that I can definitely say are the Magnemite line, the Lickitung line, the Rhyhorn line, because this route you actually can find Rhyhorn in the wild in Platinum, but not in Diamond and Pearl. The Tangela line, the Elekid line, because as you remember, we saw a rare encounter Elekid in the Dazzling Cave in the Grand Underground. There's also the Magby line, the Togepi line, the Yanma line, Eevee to become a Leafeon and Glaceon, Gligar into Gliscor, because his evolution method is only found in the post-game. Swinub into Mamoswine, Porygon, because in Johto it was given the evolution of Porygon 2, and in Sinnoh it was given a further evolution in Porygon C. There's also Routes to evolve into Gallade, Nosepass to evolve into Probopass, Duskull, which is another rare encounter in the Grand Underground to get Dusknoir, and the last one, if you want to include it, Snorunt to evolve into Frostlass. But I would say Snorunt into Frostlass I don't think actually it has a huge hindrance, but I probably might think it does. Because it definitely affected routes, since I was in Route 208 thinking that's where you find the routes, only to then find out that no, routes was not even to be found there at all in Diamond and Pearl, but is in Pokemon Platinum. So that is what I hate. I hate the fact that Pokemon were given brand new evolutions in the Sinnoh region, but in the downside, to not be encountered until you've beaten the game, which I think is stupid. Why create a Pokemon for the Sinnoh region if you are not going to allow them to be caught in the Sinnoh game except for Pokemon Platinum? That is poor game design. Really poor game design. And it makes it even worse that you can only find them under a rare chance in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl's Grand Underground. Otherwise you get nothing but common Pokemon that you would normally find in the overworld anyway. Anyway, rant over. Next time on my Brilliant Diamond Hooplocke Nuzlocke, we're going to be proceeding further down Route 214 to make our way to Astoria City. See you guys then.